So you may have not seen a home like this with the high ceilings and tons of room, but when you look outside, it looks like an RV. My home is approximately 43 feet long and 8 feet wide. However, with the slides, it gives me an extra 6 feet of living space. So a total of 14 feet wide on the slide portions, as well as the loft, which probably gives another maybe close to 100 feet. The nice thing about all that is in order to be considered a tiny home, it has to be 400 feet. Obviously, I've got more footage on this, but it doesn't count because one is upward and the part that goes out, it's not technically touching the floor. So this is actually what's called a destination trailer. And I'm excited to share with you guys what this guy cost and how I was able to retire early. When I first came in to check out the destination trailer, because I'd originally been looking at tiny houses, but when I walked in here and it was so open, super high ceilings, and I realized that the kitchen was even bigger and I had a lot more room than there was in the tiny house. And as you can see, full range, 4-burner, got our oven, lots of cabinet space, practically full-size refrigerator, built-in microwave, awesome sink with an island. It's pretty much all you need. I had been living in about a 1,700 square foot home, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, all the way down to a 400 square foot house. And people think, oh my gosh, how did you do it? Like you had so much stuff. For me, it wasn't hard really because I'm single and a lot of the space in my house wasn't really utilized anyway. As I downsized, I was a little concerned about where am I gonna put my dishes, my cookware, all that kind of stuff. However, I'm not a huge cook, so I did have an estate sale, so I parted with a lot of things. Things that I really realized, do you even use that? You know? So I got rid of as much stuff as I could, kept my essentials, my dishes, my pots and pans, which fit awesomely in here. I even have my little air fryer that fits right here. So much cabinet space, you wouldn't even believe. I have all my dishes up here. This is my main pantry, which fits so much stuff. I even have like my toaster and some small appliances in there, all my food items. Personally, for me, don't miss any of my stuff. I was really good at paring down. So when I got all my boxes in here, I didn't have to get rid of anything. It all fit. I've got this awesome refrigerator. It's great for beverages because I drink a lot of beverages. It's got a double freezer for all my frozen foods and ice creams and stuff like that. And then it just kind of moves right along. And what I really liked was the flow. Some of the kitchens I saw in the tiny homes were kind of just jammed up on one side. But this, as far as eating, cook, prepare, place it on my table, continuing the flow, can just go over, sit on the recliner. The other thing where I can also sit and eat, I've got my sofa, which is also comfortable, and my dining room table, which is really nice because if I do have people over, I've got room for 4. So for me, since I'm single, it was perfect for working on the computer and whatnot, but I have made friends and it's really nice to have a full dining room table that seats 4. And that was pretty important to me. So I didn't have to just eat on the recliner. And the other great thing about the destination trailer is because it has those slide outs, which basically on this side gives me about 4 feet extra room. That's how we get the dining room table and the recliners to fit perfectly. One thing I was looking for in a tiny home is a large enough living room so that I can actually chill, have people over. As you can see, there are windows everywhere, so I can get a lot of light, and it just makes it cheery and a great place to hang out, especially in my recliner to watch TV. It was really interesting because when I decided to downscale into a tiny home, my friends were kind of like, oh, you know what, that might be kind of cool, especially because they knew that I didn't really use half of the space in my house. So nobody was really against it. They all thought it was kind of cool, but everybody loved my house up there. So they're like, oh, aren't you gonna miss it? And I'm like, I don't think so. And I have not. This size has been absolutely perfect. I have actually been thinking about going tiny for quite a while. I think I was watching a video channel similar to this one, and it just looked kind of glamorous and just really peaceful, and I really liked it. And I just was ready to retire. I realized I could save a lot of money, get rid of my mortgage, and I live alone, so it was really a perfect idea for me. So my original plan was to get a proper tiny home. And when I came down here to look, they did have tiny homes available for sale. And I walked into some of them. They were super cute and everything. But the prices, well, they were, close to $150. And then I saw that there were these destination trailers. And I was like, wait a minute, that sounds like a great idea. So I went and looked at one of the RV places. I saw this one, and I could not believe how much bigger it was and how much cheaper it was. I paid out the door, I bought the warranty and all that, probably about $80,000. And sometimes people say to me, yeah, but it's an RV, it's not gonna be as sturdy. Well, that may be the case. However, I could save like 20, 30 grand from the price of the tiny home to do any repairs that I may need to do. So for me, the destination trailer worked out really well. At the motorhome place, they actually had their own finance company, and I was able to get finance because I had not sold my home in Portland yet, which I was planning to just buy the destination trailer in cash. But they financed me. I do have really good credit, but I got financed, paid that for about 6 months. Once I sold my house, I paid this off. Another thing is when I was initially researching all the tiny homes, and I saw so many really cute ones, and they're like, oh, tiny home builder, and you can custom make your tiny home and all this stuff. There was nowhere to park them. They did not have very many tiny home communities. And some of the ones that I actually found were on the East Coast, basically. And that was just too far away for me personally. I wanted to be close to Portland. So as I continued my research over approximately 2 years, the community where I live now had opened, and it popped up during one of my researches. And for me, it was perfect because it was in, the desert area, Southern California, which I loved. And it's already a tiny home community. So they allow destination trailers as well as the tiny homes. So there was no problem finding parking. So I moved in September of 2025. And when I got here, my lot rent was $495. I know they do go upwards of $695, maybe more, depending on which space you get, because there are some spaces that view the mountains. There's ones that people may consider, more desirable. My spot is perfect. And there's $300 all-inclusive utilities. So all the water I want, all the electricity, the sewer. So basically, even though I'm down here in the desert and it's hot, I can run my AC constantly without ever changing the price. And another really great thing for me is with the lot and utilities rentals being so much lower, it's approximately $800 for me. There's apartments around here, studio apartments down in Palm Springs that are like over $2,000. And that doesn't even include utilities. So, depending on where you want to live, Southern California is not cheap. So for me, this was perfect. Up in Portland and in California prior to moving to Portland, I was an RN and worked for 20 plus years. And I just kind of got to the point where I needed to retire. I knew I was going to need to retire early. So here I am, retiring early, living in my awesome place down here in the sunny California, where I now have time just to do whatever I want. Go lie by the pool, take walks, go hiking. There's great hiking around here. I don't have the anxiety of like, oh my God, I have to be there at a certain time, or, oh, maybe there's toxic people or whatnot. So retirement is absolutely perfect. And although, I don't obviously have as much money as I did when I was working, I don't need that much anymore because I got my tiny place. Coming down the hallway, got your bathroom. It's pretty small, but for me, it's got a little bench seat in it so I can sit down, shave my legs. It also has the drop down shower head if you like that kind of thing. And the other nice thing about the placement of the bathroom, super close to the living room and right by my bedroom, so I don't have to walk very far. When I walk in through the sliding doors and I came back to the bedroom, I was sort of expecting like, a pretty small one, but king size bed, which I absolutely loved because there are not a lot of these small homes that can have room for a king size. So that sold me completely. I also have tons of closet space that is fully goes back. So it's not like some teeny tiny little closet. And then what I really like is that I have a washer dryer. That absolutely sold me because, since I've been, 30, I've had my own washer and dryer, and who wants to go to the laundromat, right? So the other thing is it's got this cool little vanity with the window right by it. Some people could use it for a little desk area or to even work. I actually have extra chairs under the bed, which is another storage area. But I use it for my perfumes and all that kind of stuff. And it's really nice because it fits the cat food and there's room under here for storage. So obviously the ceiling is lower than it was out there. For me, it's not really that much of a problem, but we have our loft upstairs. So clearly ceiling had to be a little lower. A lot of the smaller houses, the tiny homes, you had to have your bedroom in a loft. For me personally, I don't want to walk down the stairs every time I have to go to the bathroom. So having this entire bedroom, complete with king size bed, was amazing for me. And since I do plan to live here full time, it's just like a normal bedroom in a house. As you can see, it's not super small and I don't have to walk up and down the stairs. This is the loft that is above the downstairs bedroom, and it's perfect. It actually comes with 2 twin size beds, but I use one of the twin size beds for extra storage. This bed, amazingly, is super comfortable. I actually sleep here when I have company and I give them my bedroom downstairs. And it's amazing how comfortable it is and how high it is. And then across the way, there's another little bedroom area, quite a bit smaller headroom, so I can use that for storage as well. Another really nice thing is going from a much bigger house to a smaller house. I was really worried about where am I going to store the stuff that I'm going to need. So these lofts were perfect for it because, again, still have room for some of the stuff and have room for storage. So it worked out perfectly. So if you're thinking about tiny living and you've got your big house, I would advise to try to sell your house first. Maybe get a little cheap rental apartment wherever it is you live or stay with a friend, and then pay cash for your place. Now, if that's not an option, I know that there is financing, and I would imagine it's a lot easier to get financing for a tiny home than it would be for a regular home. And again, if you go destination trailer, financing's super easy. I appreciate you letting me show you my tiny home, and it has been an awesome experience. I love living here, and I do recommend tiny homes to anyone, or a destination trailer. Go Bills.